wow, this guy's obviously got some issues.
Well, they all do.
Alice, you've got a follow-up to a chase that you've been on for a while. It's the story of the Eastbound Strangler, who's never been caught, and the murder case is now almost 10 years old. What do you got?
You remember last month when retired Trenton detective Gary Britton and I went to Atlantic City to try and see if we could make some progress in the case of the Eastbound Strangler, who left 4 prostitutes strangled in a ditch outside Atlantic City in 2006.
They're laying across the ditch with their heads facing east. So it seems as if their heads were face down, facing east.
In 2006, a criminal profile was done of the Eastbound Strangler serial killer by noted profiler John Kelly. Well, after we aired our story, incredibly, Kelly, one of the most noted profilers in the country, who's done work on the Green River serial killer case, who was the most prolific serial killer in American history, called us.
Do you think we're on to something?
I think you're definitely on to something with Dennis Gaskill.
Hearing that, we sat down to talk with Kelly to talk about who this person could be. Gaskill or no, we needed to know more about the methodology and the mind of the Eastbound Strangler.
They bring the victim in and out of consciousness by choking her out and then reviving her. These guys can portray a mask of sanity. So the family, the neighbors, people that know him get to see that. Boy, he's such a real nice guy. He's so charming.
The serial killers that you've dealt with, and this serial killer in particular, wants to appear normal to his neighbors and to the outside world.
Absolutely, that's how he stays camouflaged. He hides behind that mask of sanity. They all did. Bundy did it. Dahmer did it.
When Gary Britton was doing an investigation a couple years later, he encountered someone named Dennis Gaskill, a gun runner and long-haul trucker who we think matches up some of those profiles. Unfortunately, Gaskill killed himself in jail in Kokomo, Indiana, before Gary was able to question him.
If this guy is a serial killer, and certainly he's a person of interest and has to be eliminated from this case, this guy, has bodies elsewhere.
Now, with Kelly's advice, we wanted to ask him some questions too, specifically involving a piece that he left in his profile that the Eastbound Strangler had a foot fetish.
The reason we focused on the foot fetish was because the way the women were posed, their feet were higher on the embankment than their bodies.
We went through a lot of this evidence. We're trying to find out more about his possible criminal history.
Are you connecting with his family at all? Is there anyone around that you can talk to, family members?
First, John Kelly says not all abused children become serial killers,
right, of course.
but all serial killers were abused children.
Bill, a college professor that actually wrote a book on this, that I spoke with in a different story, told me that at any given time, there are as many as 25 serial killers operational in the United States, and that staggers me every time
I believe that.
All right, so what can our viewers do? You want them to take a look at this picture.
So we're going to be trying to reach out to any family members of Gaskill, and anyone who might recognize his picture or might know him from the area around Atlantic City should contact us. We've got our Twitter and Facebook information, or tips at chasingnews.com if you want to contact us by email.